Yo, what up, people? Coming at you from the craft store. Do you see this pin? The V pin, my favorite pin in the universe. They sell them here. What a glorious day. And there's a Pizza Hut in my city, which we only have in personal pan form, but I will take it. What a glorious day. Hey, it's snowing. In case you can't tell from the snow in my hair. Sometimes John Green says, in a stunning turn of events, it's raining in England. That's how I kind of feel about snow here, but actually it's really pretty. And it hasn't snowed in a while, and we kind of needed it. Because once snow's been out for a while, it like starts turning brown and gross. Like you can maybe kind of see back there, you see how it's kind of gotten brown. So it's much prettier when they cover it up with new snow. Classes have just gotten started back. As you can tell, my English has also lost some of its goodness. And I learned this word that means sucker, like you are a sucker. It's loch, in case you're wondering. I think it's pretty rude, so I'm gonna try not to say it. It's also the word for loch, as in the Great Loch Ness Monster. So, good to know that word can be used. Actually, I wonder if that's the origin of that word meaning both things. Well, right now, I'm really excited. I'm going to try to meet people, but I'm really excited about the opportunity too, to get new books, which I don't need because I already bought 2 new books this week, and I bought 2 last week. I think I might have actually bought 3 last week. Ooh. Anyway, I bought too many books is the moral of the story. Anyway, they have this free book swap thing where you bring a book and you can swap it out with someone else's book that they've already read and maybe talk about like why they loved it, why they read it, why they're giving it up, whatever. I think it'll be a really cool opportunity. Also, currently in the process of downloading Anna Karenina on audio. Apparently I just am really trying to go deep in culture. Alright, so the book thing went pretty well. I got a book of jokes, I think. It was better than I thought. Did I say that already? I met a couple of people who, like, once they found out I was American, like, they were all talking to me. I possibly made a connection for the business. Made a connection for my roommate because this lady was like, she kept talking about something about practicing Tatar or something, I don't know. And so, gave her my roommate's number. And I kind of thought I was going to be able to be friends with this girl, but she was just like, not really, like she was kind of like, this is weird, why are you talking to me? Being kind of shy, so I don't know that it's going to work out, but I joined a lot of VK groups and got to practice my Russian, so I don't know, I think it was good. We'll see, I don't know. One of my goals for the month was to make a friend. I don't know. I don't think that really counts as making a friend, but I did try. And maybe they will later go back on VK and be like, find me and be like, hey, you're that crazy girl from the book swap. And I'll be like, yeah, that was me. I don't know. I'm going to the cat thing now. Maybe I'll find a cat person to be friends with. Although, knowing cat people and being a cat person myself, they are not usually super talkative, so the odds aren't really in my favor for that one. But nonetheless, wish me luck. Sorry, someone just said my name, but I'm pretty sure they didn't mean to say my name. There must be a word that sounds like my name, but it loudly said Sarah. Achonti. That means, what are you talking about? But they don't even have to use the word talking, they just implied it. Like, it literally means about what you. Ooh, do you want to see the cool tower? Oh, look at it. Isn't it beautiful? So we have this other tower. This tower doesn't have a cool meaning. That tower you can go up in though, so you can see like the pretty downtown part of the city. But it doesn't have a cool story. There is a cool story of another tower, which I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. And then I'll tell you the twist. So, once upon a time in like the 15 or 1600s, we down here where I live were ruled by our own governance. They were called Khans, and there was this girl who was like the daughter or the wife of the Khan or whatever, and her name was Suyambika, and she was boss, and everyone loved her, and she had the son, maybe multiple sons, don't remember. Anyway, she was living here happily in my city, and Ivan the Terrible, he used to be the Tsar of the Russian Empire, invaded, you know, as he does because he's the worst, and he was like, yo, marry me, and she was like, no. And he was like, yeah. And she was like, fine, you know what? If you can build me a 7-story tower in 7 days, I'll marry you. So he's like, cool. So he did. And she was so distraught because he actually did it that she climbed up to the top of the tower, looked out over our beautiful city, was so moved by love for the city and hatred for Ivan the Terrible that she jumped off the top of the tower and killed herself. And we love her, and we named the tower after her, and they just wrote an opera about her, actually. So here's the twist. None of that is real. I mean, we do really have the tower, and we think it might date back to Ivan the Terrible, but in real life, she got married like 3 or 4 times to different like warring khans against her will, and there was never, as far as we know, there's no historical backup for her having any sort of romantic involvement with Ivan the Terrible, and she definitely didn't jump off the tower and kill herself. I know, I felt so deceived. At one point, someone told me that in real life she didn't jump off the tower, but she did go to Moscow with him and have children with him, and now she's buried in Moscow with him. But that's also not true, because I read her biography in 3 different languages. Well, I only actually read it in 1, but my roommate read it in 3, and she said in all 3 that all of that was false. But it's cool, we still love her, and it's still my favorite local legend. Good morning. It's a bright and sunny morning, which means it's a little colder today, but I think it's totally worth it because it's so pretty here whenever it's bright, especially because we had some fresh snow yesterday, so everything is very white and just shiny and sparkly, and I love it. Oh man, there's my train. Oh well. And oh, you see that red thing? That's the drive-thru for the Burger King they're putting in right next to my apartment, which, I mean, I don't eat Burger King that often, but they are the only place that has free refills, so maybe I could just go sit there and get free Pepsi and do my homework. Yes, they do serve Pepsi products. It is quite the tragedy. I did it. I made a friend. I did it, you guys. It's snowing real hard, BT dubs. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this up, but I went to this thing, and it said, an evening with metaphorical cards. And I was like, does that mean the cards aren't real? But apparently it's like solarium cards kind of, but they use them in psychology, and they have like all these really weird pictures. They almost look like those pictures on Dixit. Have you ever played Dixit? And you pick them and you talk about like this time she asked us about our goals, and so I sat by this girl, and she was really interesting, and she was talking about how much she wanted to make a podcast. Y'all know there's nothing in this world I love more than podcasts, which, I mean, she doesn't really speak English, I don't think, so we can't really share our love of the same podcast, but still. Anyway, so she was talking about all her life, and I think she's had probably kind of a hard life, but at the end, she was like very helpful, and we exchanged Instagrams, and she showed me this really... Sorry, there's this guy just like dancing in the street over there. Oh yeah, so then she like showed me this cute cafe right by the place we were, and she was like, I'm really great at Russian grammar. Like, if you ever need free help, like, just let me know. Like, I would love to help you. Like, oh, yes. So, we're gonna be friends. Just really excited. And I just spent 2 hours in Russian. And occasionally embarrassed myself, but not completely. And found out about some other cool places I could go to meet more people and do more cool stuff. And people here are just really heavy. Like, they're all, like, we just met each other. We don't not even know each other's names. Me and, like, this group of, like, 5 women. And this girl was like, she started crying, like, 2 minutes in. She was talking about how she moved here a few years ago and how hard that time of her life was, and how she had depression and, like, how she dealt with it. And it was so, like, oh my gosh. And then they all talked about different depressing experiences or whatever that they all had. And, like, listen, depression is, like, a real problem. And, like, I'm not trying to say that if you're depressed that, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to say anything about that. Just that, like, every single person here was, like, very depressed. And all of their goals were very depressing. Like, I just want to get out of here, or I just want to make my life better. I just want to be happy, or I just want to be a good mom. And so mine, they were like, Sarah, what experience with depression do you have? And I was like, you know, in December, I was really over the winter, and I just thought, I can't live in the winter anymore. And they said, oh, we think that every winter. And at the end of the thing, the lady was like, you know, I think that you are just a really positive person, and, you know, you give so much, but who is giving to you? And I just wanted to be like, but I didn't. I was like, you know, my parents and God and my roommates. And yeah, I've never been called a positive person before, so this is a really exciting day for me. Maybe this place has truly changed me. Y'all, I just checked my mail. Some of y'all know that I have recently gotten really into Scientology. Like, not into it like I support it, into it like I'm fascinated by this evil corporation. And I know you guys don't read Russian. That says L. Ron Hubbard Dianetics. They are canvassing. They're illegal here. Get this crap out of my mailbox. I just can't believe. And they're canvassing and they're putting crap in people's mailbox. Look at this. They're here. Ooh, man. If I meet a Scientologist here, crap's gonna go down. Because I know way too much about what they believe. Anyway, big news. Just had my first fall of the winter. I fell. Not squarely on my butt. Slightly to the left. But it happened. The fact that I was listening to Anna Karenina while walking to buy tacos. And then I fell. I don't know. It feels like it's gotta mean something. Speaking of Anna Karenina, I know significantly less about her than I do about all the characters that surround her. So, that seems weird. It's like Rebecca. Like, a lot of the book isn't really even about Rebecca. It's about the nameless narrator. But the book's named Rebecca. I don't know, man. Weird how things work out sometimes. Была успешная встреча группы. И there was a successful meeting of the group, is what I'm hoped to say. If you speak Russian, don't tell me I'm wrong. I will ask my teacher, and she will tell me, and it won't be as bad. So the first week, I had 7 or 8 friends come. Yeah, so, and I was really pumped about it, and I thought they might could come every week, because I told them, like, I want this to be an every week thing. Then the next week, one of my friends said she was never going to be able to come again. Today, I had another one tell me she was never going to be able to come again. And then I think another one wrote and said she's not, like, she has something else she has to do on Mondays. Which I totally understand, but I was super bummed about it. Well, then so last week, I just had the 2 believers come, and I was like, you know, like, even if this is all that happens, it's still good, and I was trying to be really positive about it, but honestly, I was really sad. And today, one of my other friends came, and she's not a believer, and honestly, I don't think she knows anything about God, even in her own, like, nominal religion. And so it was really cool for us all to be together and to be reading. And we ate tacos, and they loved tacos. They never had them before, and they ate salsa and chips. And they're like, is this how you always eat salsa? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, this is like magic. And I was like, yeah, it is. They're like, you made this yourself? And I was like, yeah, I did. I think next week we're gonna have spaghetti, because I told them I was gonna make all the things I know how to make, and spaghetti and tacos are pretty much it. But it was really cool. I think they are really growing to love one another, and it's been really cool to see them learn and just talk. And for me to learn, I've learned so much stuff, and we've only been studying John for 2 weeks, but it's just been really great, and I am really thankful, and I'm hoping that they will start bringing their own friends, and we can start growing the group that way. And I don't know, I'm just sort of on a high right now. Like, last week, I was kind of dreading it, because it was just, we did the whole first chapter of John, and it's just a lot, and I had prepared for, like, 6 hours. It was just like, and a bunch of people came. And then this week was better. I only prepared for 3 hours. We didn't study as much. It was easier to, like, I didn't bite off more than I could chew this time, and my non-believing friend came, and it was just, I don't know. I'm feeling really encouraged and pumped, and my watch keeps going off because they're talking in a group message together, and I just, yeah.